To what extent are you guys competitive? Anyone ever called any of you competitive?
No, not at all.
So you're that person. Yeah. I remember I would talk with Kathleen about this when Kathleen was on the air with me co-hosting.
But she seems pretty competitive.
Not at all.
No.
Really?
She's the person that if she plays you in like a competitive game and you win, she'll congratulate you and cheer for you and be like, oh, look at you. That's so great. Good job.
Yeah.
Which I think comes from her improv background. It's important that the team succeed.
Yeah.
It's not about you. It's about the team.
You're not competitive either, are you, Ron?
Not so much. High school, I played sports, and I was competitive enough there, but it wasn't carried over to, like, I'm playing basketball against my son, and I have to block it and jam it in his face and, stuff like that.
Me and my 4-year-old were playing the card game War.
Which inherently implies there should be a winner.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And he was on FaceTime with my parents later that day telling them about what he did. And he said something like, yeah, I was playing War with Mom, and she kept winning, but next time I'm going to get her.
Atta guy. Atta boy. Yeah.
And my mom said, oh, that sounds a lot like your father. Because she knows, she knows it's not me.
Eddie's competitive.
Yes, he is.
So how does he tolerate playing games with you?
Who wouldn't want to play games with me? I'm not being mean to you.
No, it's actually infuriating to play with someone who doesn't care when you care. Like it's maddening to play.
Well, he just likes me, so.
Like, see, for me, Sarah and I, we had friends who played board games at home a lot, just the two of them, and we're like, wow, that must be what good Christian couples do. Like, we need to do this. And she thinks faster than me, and I'm convinced she's smarter than me. If she were here, she'd be like, nah, it's not true. But she doesn't sound like that either, by the way. But she would effortlessly destroy me. I mean, we're like, oh, let's play chess. Nope. Destroyed Brian. Checkers? Nope. Destroyed
Well, for
Brian.
my husband, he's really good at games, and so I just can never beat him. So it's never really a problem.
Well, because he's playing games where you have to read a novel just to get the rules finished.
Yes,
And
exactly.
so no one can win that game unless you are an expert in it. I'm talking about like all these other strategy games. I lose and it drives me nuts. And she's like, she doesn't care. I just can't do it. It's a Brian problem. I get it. It's my problem. I understand.
Yeah, I don't care if I lose. It's fine.
Daria's competitive. You are.
Yeah, I can be a bit competitive. It depends on what it is, but I
Like
have so my husband and I like to play Mario Kart, and I get really, really mad when he beats me.
That's a game.
I'm just at Mario Kart for the vibes. I'm not sure.
Oh no, I need to win.
Oh,
I'm not competitive about a lot of things, but Mario Kart will get me going.
we have that at my house, and the kids love to sit down, and a lot of them have inherited my problem. And there's a grin and a declaration of being a champion that I just see as my fault from my children. It's a problem.
I don't know. Not if it's like in fun.
A lot of some competitiveness isn't terrible.
No, it's not inherently bad, I don't think.
Tell me I'm okay. This is what we're doing
I
here.
can't tell you that.
But no, so there was this Christianity Today piece by a millennial guy, and he's got a competitive problem too. He said this: I'm what some people would call competitive. I hate losing more than I like winning. As I tell my 6-year-old son before his soccer games, have fun today, but remember, winning is more fun. He said his wife doesn't like that so much.
Can't say I blame her.
He said, I like striving for excellence and cultivating discipline. I want to be the best, out-train, out-work, out-compete at the competition. And he says it's actually a trend among his generation, for men in particular. And then he goes through this list of like people: David Goggins, Andrew Huberman, Ryan Pineda, Chris Crone, Andy Elliott, all these guys that are challenging men to get out there and you do your 75 hard challenge. And they're doing all
good
that.
Heavens.
They got to eat the best, be the best, look the
You have
best.
to read 2 hours a day, drink a gallon of water,
Yes.
work out 2 times a day for 45 minutes.
Yeah, and
That's 75 hard.
for these guys, it's
Wow.
not just physical things. It's like mental.
Yeah, it's mental.
One of them is
Do
like
they have a job? It
That's
sounds
what
like
I
they're
asked.
Do they
all busy
sleep?
with everything else.
I know.
I guess one of them involves waking up at 4 a.m. to listen to a book on double speed.
My brain's not going at double speed at 4 a.m.
The only time I put a book on 1.5 speed is if I'm really trying to get through it. I'm like, I'm over the book now. Let's just get through this here.
Who would voluntarily wake up at 4 a.m.? Like, we have to, but I marvel at people that do it just for funsies.
Yeah.
And this is the thing in your generation, Lauren, is that there are, especially with young men, he says,
trying to accomplish a bunch of stuff.
Get up and do it. You got to work at it, win it, whether it's intellectual or spiritual, whatever it is. But here's what he says. He says, I mostly like this trait that I have of being competitive. But in the life of faith, I also think that my drive to be the best can make me the spiritually worst.
Yeah, because it's not about Jesus, it's about what you're doing.
What do you mean?
If you're competitive in your faith, you're just trying to beat other people at being a Christian, which is not what it's about.
Or it can slip into works-based salvation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He goes on to say that Christianity calls us to a higher standard of grace, which has nothing to do with effort or striving. And I like how he puts holiness, as he says, is a slow work. And when you are in spiritual formation, it's less about productivity and more about stillness. And so he talks about how much he struggles and how much he worries for his own generation about, and those who would get into this stuff. And this is a very American ideal. Like, you want to be good in business, you got to get ahead. So you got to read this book, go to that conference, do this, do, and then you got to work out. You got to Spiritually, if you take that and you apply it to your Christian faith, you're doing it upside down. It's wrong. And there's some people right now that are driving off the road because they are working at it, guys. Every day they do their quiet time. It's an hour. And they're doing their prayer exercises, and they're going to all the things. They're doing the stuff.
Okay, but what's your goal? And hasn't Jesus already done the finished work?
Well, yeah, but I want to know him more. I got to do more to know him more. And I'm not trying. I know works don't save me, Daria.
Okay, but what are you doing to rest? Not just for your mental and physical well-being, but your spirit needs rest too.
Rest is for the weak. I'm working at it, Daria. Daria, I'm doing a spiritual workout. Paul said, run the race. Come on, I'm running.
You need to work at being still and letting God move in there.
Yeah.
If you're just busying yourself and filling your time with things and doing things, you're never giving God a chance to speak to you in the stillness and the quiet places.
Yesterday, I sat on the couch without my phone with my cat, and I just sat there and stared at the wall for 30 minutes. I'm like, this is nice. I can't remember the last time I had just completely unstimulated time to myself.
And there's a significant number of people hearing you say that going, wow, you're unproductive.
Yeah, you can think that. I also ran 3 miles yesterday.
Got him.
Wow, Daria.
Told you I'm training for a 5K.
Yeah, she's almost there.
That's true.
That is a 5K.
Guys, I drove 45 miles yesterday, one way, and then back again. There and back again. It's a hobbit's tale.
Again.
I think this is one of the greatest challenges American Christians face. Is that we don't like this, and people get mad at me when I say it, but the American ideal of how to be runs contrary to the Christian ideal of how to be. Am I wrong?
I don't think so.
You can't pull yourself up by your bootstraps in your Christian faith?
Oh, no. No, you can't do it yourself. But you are called to, follow Paul as he follows Christ. If you're having trouble, you need to see it. So you're called to do things, but
you're also called to acknowledge you already lost.
Yeah.
In competition, you're the loser. Jesus won. Right? I mean, it's a really remedial way to say it, but it's true. And so this is the challenge I faced because I'm a competitive person. And this is why it was so good for me to go through a spiritual formation program. Because I needed someone to force me into stillness. I needed someone to force me into the idea that I'm trying to tell myself that I'm doing good things for Jesus as if he needs me to do that for him. And as if I'm still able to convince myself I'm not trying to work out my own salvation. But at the end of the day, that's probably what I'm doing. I'm doing all the things so that God's pleased with me. No, that's not how it works.
Newsflash, you can't please God and yet he's already pleased with you because he loves you.
And for the competitive person, that's disorienting. But I'm telling you, spiritual maturity is not going to come through your hard work. It's going to come through your surrender. This is why I think the American church is facing such a challenge. But I think we can do it. It's just a matter of reframing things. I guess pray for millennial men, too. Poor guys. Doing the 75 what?
75 hard.
What is that?
You work out
Torture.
for 45 minutes twice a day. You drink a gallon of milk. You read for like 2
Milk
hours.
or water?
What did I say?
Milk.
I think it's
Could
water.
you imagine? Water.
That's a lot of milk, especially at these
Throw up.
prices.
Water. And
There's like,
you read for 2 hours a day.
aren't there
It's
rules
sleep
for like
a certain amount of time?
eating clean or whatever?
Yeah, you eat. Yeah, you're not doing sugar.
You can't be married in the midst of that, can you?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, one of our friends did it. His wife is just like, yeah, that's what he's doing.
I had a friend who did it.
You really?
Yeah.
Like successfully?
Yeah.
Did they win?
Well, it was just with themselves, so
Well, but I mean, like, it's over now, right? And they're...
You're allowed to do
they
things
did it.
just for yourself.
I don't think I could ever do that.
Oh no.
Why?
I don't have enough time in the day.
Yeah, 2 45-minute workouts, like you're not only is that exhausting, you're going to injure yourself.
One could be like a more chill one, like a walk or something like that, but still. Ooh, no.
Yeah, I don't... Some people like that stuff. God bless them for it. I don't get it. And the one that I laugh at is no matter what happens, we're still going to hear the next news release, Bertha Johnson is now the oldest woman in the world. What's your secret? Diet Coke and smoking.
Right.
I've smoked a pack a day for 94 years, and I did it. And this other guy's doing the 75 hard challenge, and he's going to
It's the aspartame.
get cancer in a couple years.
Yeah, I
you know what I mean?
I don't know what that is.
And so there is something to say about just relax. Get close to Jesus. You can work out too, but you're not going to work your way into the kingdom. That's just not how it works. Hey there, thanks for joining us. Like you, we're looking for a different kind of conversation. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss a video.